Hello, my name is Camille and welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to talk to you about how you can make any Lightroom adjustment, any global adjustment in Lightroom and apply it locally, because normally when you go to the gradient or the brush tool in Lightroom, there's only a subset of tools that you can use there. For instance, you can adjust the contrast, you can adjust color temperature, highlights, shadows, even clarity or sharpness, but not every tool that is available globally is available locally. For instance, the whole HSL panel, which is very powerful for color grading, is not available as a local adjustment. So in this video, I'm going to show you a trick on how to actually use any kind of tool that you have globally in Lightroom and apply it locally with the ultimate precision. Let's get started. Alright, so for instance, let's take a look at this example. We have a nice landscape image and we have this sky here, and what I want to do is apply a HSL adjustment to the sky only that turns it into a nice teal and kind of a cyanish color. So what I can do is actually right click on the image, go to create virtual copy, and then from there I can just use one copy and apply my adjustments to one of the copies. So let's make a quick adjustment in the HSL panel, for instance something like this. And then as you can see, one copy is without this adjustment and the other copy is with this adjustment. So now what we have to do is we can select both of these images, right click, edit in, open as layers in Photoshop. And now that we are in Photoshop, we can actually use the Photoshop very powerful masking tools in order to mask out only the sky from the version of the image that is adjusted with our HSL adjustment. So let's try to simulate a graduated filter from Lightroom right in Adobe Photoshop. So make sure to place the image with the adjusted sky on the top and then draw a rectangle using the Mark Here tool from the top like this. Then click this button to add a layer mask, and then in order to simulate the graduated filter, you can just go to the properties of the mask, just double click on the mask and then add some feathering. You have a very rudimentary mask that applies the HSL adjustment only to the sky. But because we are actually in Photoshop, we can do a way better job at masking the sky. Instead of using a rectangular mark hue, we can actually use a lasso tool and draw a more precise mask around the horizon. So let's back it up, and then we can actually use the lasso tool and draw a rough selection around the sky. Then again, apply the mask, feather it out, and then you have a pretty good adjustment only in the sky. But the problem with the fact that we are now in Photoshop is that if we want to tweak out our grade in the sky, for instance, we want to adjust the saturation or adjust the hue of the sky, we would actually have to go back to Lightroom, edit the image, export it to Photoshop, and then in Photoshop replace the layer with our new image, and then we will be presented with our new result. And this is not very convenient because it involves a lot of steps in order to update a simple HSL adjustment. So we can actually do a very simple trick in order to be able to adjust our color grade in the sky right in Adobe Photoshop, so we don't have to go back and forth between Lightroom and Photoshop. So all you have to do is go back to Lightroom and then click on the image with the adjustment in the sky, right click, edit in, open a smart object in Photoshop. Now we have to copy this smart object into our document that we are working with previously in Photoshop. We can move the mask from this layer to this layer, then we can delete this because we don't need this anymore, and now the image looks pretty much the same, but now we have a smart object, so we can actually double click on the smart object and open our image in Adobe Camera Raw when we have all the tools that we had in Lightroom. So we can actually tweak our color grade right in Adobe Camera Raw without leaving Photoshop, and then we can see immediately the updated result right in Photoshop document. And using that exact technique, you can basically use any tool available in Lightroom globally and apply it locally with the ultimate precision, because in Photoshop you can actually do way more precise masking. First is you can use a luminosity plugin called Lumenzia. I'm using Lumenzia and I can highly recommend it to make a very precise selection around the sky only. And then you can work with that, you can work with the Adobe Camera Raw interface in order to update the adjustments that you were doing previously in Lightroom. And that way you have pretty much like the ultimate control over the image. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please make sure to leave it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to my channel because there will be more videos like this coming in the future. I try to upload videos pretty much every single week, and I mostly focus on photography and filmmaking, basically everything you can do with your camera. So subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss out on future videos. But that's it for now. Have a good day, stay safe, and see you next time. Bye bye.